Marvel, if you'll give me a 10-minute bell, I appreciate it. Again, I'm Stan Surratt, proud superintendent of Lindo ISD, and I am so fortunate, so blessed to work in such a great school district and in such a great community. And I often say that we're the perfect example how a community should support their school system. And the result of that is a great school district. Because of that great parental support, great business support, great community support, we have a really strong, fantastic school district. So we appreciate y'all and thank y'all for that. Just real quickly, I'm going to just do some highlights of where we're at as a school district, and be real quickly, and I think at the end we got some questions. Okay, all right. First day of school is 2 weeks from yesterday for our students. So August 18th, we're expecting about anywhere from 4,200 to 4,300 students. The previous 8 years, we'd set records every year because of our growth. And last year, because of the pandemic, we took a step back. Some families chose to keep their students at home, especially kindergarten, pre-K. They kept them home maybe an extra year because of the pandemic. And so we'll probably have a really large kindergarten class this year. And but last year was a phenomenal year. First of all, what our teachers, staff, students, and parents did to make it through the pandemic and go to school in person safely. And we have great results to show that. So we were in school all year long. We had some families that were scared at first. They filtered back. We were at the end of the year, we're at like 99% students in person. We had great success. Last year, our academic team won the state championship again in UIL academics, so we're very proud of that. Our band won the military marching, state championship in military marching. We're proud of that. Our football team played where the Cowboys played in the state championship game. What a great ride that was to see them advance all the way through the playoffs. You know, in Texas, football is such a big thing, and we're so large. As a state, you know, you have to win 5 playoff games to get to the state playoffs, and so that's unique for Texas. Volleyball was 27-1, ranked number 2 in the state most of the year. Had a phenomenal season. Basketball, we won district championships. Basketball, tennis, soccer, and many other things. One thing we're very proud of, we won the district championships in academics in grades 6, 7, 8, and of course high school, and then the high school won the region and then went on to win the state championship. On that UIL academic state championship, we scored more points than any other school in the state of Texas, and that's at all divisions. That means we had more individual winners or placers at the state academic meet than any school in the state last year at all divisions. So that's an incredible achievement. We're very proud of that. Of course, we had great success for our one-act play. Journalism was a state champion again. We had won the state championships in film. We won a runner-up state champion in fine arts and also in narrative films. And that kind of contest is where it's like you're making a movie. The whole part, you write it, you act it out, all the technical stuff, and you send that in. And we were the state runner in that. And of course, in the documentary film, we were state championship. We're back-to-back state championships in that. And of course, we had many individual state champions, students. Of course, we had tons of success in all other events, FFA, student council. Our choir, we have record number of choir students, record number of students for all region choir earned that designation, and we had record number to make the all-state choir team. So we're very proud of that. COVID was an unusual year, but we did make it through it safely. We thought we were about done with COVID or at the end of COVID, and in the last three weeks, things have changed, and we have a sudden spike with the new variant of COVID. And so we are monitoring that. We are going to keep our protocol, a lot of our protocol, which was like extra cleaning, spacing the students as much as we can. You know, with that 4,200 kids, you can't space them too much. But we do some stuff in the hallways and in the classroom to help mitigate that. Masking is up to the state, the governor. He has to do some things on his end before that could be an option for us. And so right now, masking, face covering is an individual choice. So it is optional. It is, we may recommend it at some point, but again, it is an individual choice by those families or those students. So we will keep watching that over the next 2 or 3 weeks, and I think by then we'll have a good idea where this variant's going. So hopefully we'll have a flattening out, and if it does, we're in good shape and handle it well. If it doesn't, we'll have to wait on guidelines from the state and the state health officials on that. We did finish up our last bond package this last year. We renovated Eagle Stadium. We did a 23 classroom expansion at the high school. We did an auxiliary gym, an indoor practice field, practice stadium, and we thank the community for supporting that bond election very strongly. And one of the slogans we had on that was 4 cents makes sense. And so I'll give you an update on that. The first year we cut it 3 cents, and the second year we cut it 10 cents. And we're going to cut the taxes again this year. We got great economic growth in this community, which helps cut those taxes. And so the school board will cut the tax rate at the end of this month, and it's on schedule to cut at least 6 cents next year already. Hopefully that'll go up with improved economic growth. So we've got great things happening in our community, in the school district. Update on growth and expansions. We are currently, the board has approved to move forward on 2 major expansions, one at College Street Elementary and one at the ECC campus. We're going to add classroom wings to those to handle growth. And what we're doing is we're pushing the next bond election out further away. The next bond election will be an additional campus with our growth and expansion of the junior high, and then plus other things we may need at that time. So the reason the board's doing that now, it'll push that bond election out. But when we push that bond election out, we'll be able to have a bond election. In my opinion, I think, I'm very confident, you will pass a bond election with no tax increase. We'll pass a bond election giving us permission to do that on the INS side, but there won't be a tax increase. So we're in a very good position to be in Lindale, Texas. And the board has chosen to pay cash for those 2 expansions. It's about a $7 million project, and that gives you an idea on, a lot of times I give updates on the finances, what kind of financial shape our district in. They're going to pay cash $7 million for those 2 classroom expansions. So we're in good shape as a district financially. Star performance, last thing what our students did to wrap it up. We had COVID last year. We had great success in all our programs, but the main thing's academically, and we had statewide testing last year. The year before, we skipped it because of COVID. Our students did phenomenal, really the best in all of East Texas. We had very little regression. In a lot of areas, we still had growth from 2 years ago, where most people in the state of Texas and across the state had a major regression. The ones that had the most regression was the ones that did not go to school and tried to do it virtually. Our students need to be in the classroom with their teacher, and we need to make it as safe as possible, and that's what we're going to do. We're excited about the next school year, and again, I want to thank you for your great support for this great school district. Thank you.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, staff, administration at Jarvis Christian College, and our wonderful students, I greet you and thank you for inviting me here. And I won't be long. Hopefully there will be questions later. Jarvis, if you do not know, is a small liberal arts, historically black institution located in Hawkins, Texas. Although we're labeled historically black, we are a very diverse institution. We get students from all over the country and from international arenas as well. Just as any other institution and businesses this past year, we were impacted by COVID-19. Last fall, we went virtual. We did not have students on campus, and that was a task because we had to make certain that our faculty was able to come on board and to be able to teach our students online. We went through the development process and they were able to do that, and our students did not lose a beat in terms of the learning opportunities. But one of the things that we were challenged with was that many of our students, and we get many students who are Pell eligible. If you know what Pell means, is that they have to have federal support to go to school. They did not have laptops, so we had to purchase laptops. I think we purchased about 400 laptops for our students with Wi-Fi connectivity. That is a challenge when you're in a rural community, having Wi-Fi connectivity, so we had to make sure that our students were able to continue to receive the information that they need to be successful. But in spite of that, our students did extremely well, and we're quite proud of them. As a matter of fact, Jarvis students end up going to, once they graduate, they go to graduate school all over the world, all over this country. We've had students accepted to major research institutions, accepted to Ivy League institutions, medical school, law school. So our students do well. As a matter of fact, this year we have 2 students who were accepted into Harvard's Business Online program. And this is the second year that we've had students accepted to go to Harvard University. One of the things I want to share with you about Jarvis is that when a student comes to Jarvis Christian College, we make a promise to our students. Our promise to the student is that we will make certain that you have an affordable education that will get you where you need to go in life. Not only is it affordable, but it will also prepare you for the life work that you have chosen for yourself. We also make a promise to the parents as well, which is related to keeping the cost low to go to school. When I first came to Jarvis, we reduced tuition and fees by 15%. And this year, we're also reducing tuition and fees by 15% because we understand that young people have been hit hard by COVID. Parents are not working as they were in the past. Students are not working as they were. So we want to make sure that education is still affordable. That's part of our promise to them. Not only that, we make a promise to employers as well. If you employ one of our students, one of our graduates, and you decide that our graduate need to get additional hours in a particular area because you want them to grow and develop in a new field, if we're teaching that course that semester, a student can take that course free at Jarvis Christian College. They can take up to 12 hours free to ensure that they have the skills that you need as an employer. That's our promise that we make not only to the students, to the parents, but to employers as well, because we believe in what we do. We believe that we make a difference in the lives of young people at Jarvis Christian College. There are some exciting things going on at Jarvis this year. First of all, we believe that we need to prepare students for the global society. So this year we have 3 Fulbright scholars at Jarvis Christian College. To have 3 Fulbright scholars at a small liberal arts institution is not something that you normally would have. So if you're interested in taking foreign languages, you can take a course in Mandarin, you can take a course in Arabic, and you can take a course in Swahili. We want to make certain that our students, once they leave Jarvis, can not only work in this country, but can go beyond, because you have to make a difference in the world. The superintendent talked about the athletic program. We have, I think, 11 programs, athletic programs for men and women. Our track and field this year won the conference championship, the first conference championship that they've won. When I came in, we brought them back. And the young ladies did. The men came in second. But the thing about them is that they won without having a track to practice in. That says something about the commitment of the students and the coaches and those who support them. So one of the things that we're working on is building a track and field on the campus of Jarvis Christian College. Last year when COVID hit, as I said, we did not come back to school in the fall. We did bring our students back in the spring. We created what we call a bubble. If you heard of that, is that we brought students on campus. We thought we had all of the amenities in place to keep our students on campus, to keep them safe, so they would not go off campus. But our students told us a different story. You know, students will find a way. But one of the things about it is that they talk to us. You know, you have to talk to your students to find out what they need and what they want. And one of the things our students told us is that, yeah, you know, education is great. You know, you care about us, but you don't have the amenities on the campus when you're in a small rural community. So So one of the things that we're working on, and the superintendent prompted me to say this, is that we're working on developing what we call a student community center, a $25 million center. And if anybody's interested, we'd love to talk to you about the detail. But this will have a 600-seat auditorium, a conference center. It will have hotel rooms in the center as well, a bowling alley in the center. We'll have a computer lab, not only for our students, but for the community as well, a fitness center, and a food court and cafeteria in the center, and a health center as well. We want the community and the students working together at Jarvis Christian College. Given our location, where we are, we know that we have to provide those amenities, not only for our students, but we want it for the community as well. So Jarvis is making a great impact. As a matter of fact, a recent study was done on us as it relates to our economic impact in the community by the Association of Independent Colleges and Universities of Texas. And we have a $32 million economic impact in Wood County. For a small school, that's a lot. $32 million. So we make a difference in the community. We make a difference in the lives of our young people as well. There are some other exciting things going on. We're expanding our educational offerings. This year we will have new programs at Jarvis Christian College. We're starting a program in healthcare management this year. We're expanding our cybersecurity program as well. But we're also bringing in 3 individuals who are going to do master classes for us, and we're very excited about the classes that they're going to present. One person is a Grammy Award winner who's nominated for an Oscar, a music producer who has produced some, if I can think of all the names, you would know some of the artists. If you remember the song Happy a few years ago, that was a very popular song, Happy. He co-wrote that song, Happy. And a lot of the shows that you see on TV, he's the music producer for a lot of the drama shows that you see on TV. He'll be teaching at Jarvis Christian College. We're working on developing what we call an Arts and Entertainment Institute. And he's going to help us develop that institute at Jarvis Christian College. So those of you who are interested in the arts and entertainment, this will be a great opportunity to hear from someone who has done it, who has been involved in the entertainment business and has done extremely well. We will also have a master class in esports. As you know, esports is a growing business. Many of your kids probably play the games, esports, on their computer and on their devices or what have you. Not only are we talking about the gaming part of it, but we also talk about the business part. You know, there are billions of dollars in the business of esports. And we have one of the first persons of color, really, to have gotten into the business side of esports. He's well connected. He will be teaching a master class in esports at Jarvis Christian College. So those of you who are interested in that, particularly getting on the business side of it, this will be a great opportunity. If you have that son, daughter, grandson, granddaughter who always playing the game, tell them that you need to learn the business side because that's where the money is. And we want to make sure that our young people can also access the money part of it as well as enjoy playing the game as well. And the third master course that we're having, I talked about cybersecurity. I didn't give the names of the persons. Amir Wyndham, you can look him up, is the person who will be doing the Art and Entertainment Institute. Dr. Mark Williams will be doing the class on cybersecurity. And Dr. Timothy Summers, will be the person that will be doing the master class on cybersecurity and hacking. Now I need you to look him up, Timothy Summers. Timothy started as a young person hacking into everything. He got in trouble for hacking into everything. But he went on to get his degree, and he's a friend of the college. And he will be, as a matter of fact, there's an article out on Timothy that says he is the foremost hacker in the country. So look up Timothy Summers. So he will be doing a master class on hacking and cybersecurity for us as well. We almost had him at Jarvis Christian College, but unfortunately, when you live in a rural community and you have to go a couple of hours to get to the airport, you couldn't get someone like Timothy to come to Jarvis. So he ended up going to University of Maryland. He's now at University of Arizona. Arizona, but he will be doing the master class on hacking. A great opportunity if you have a business, and we all have that interest and concern of keeping our technology safe. And Timothy is the person who will be able to share with you how you can do that. One final thing about Timothy, and I'll end, is that we had some issues at Jarvis a few years ago. And I needed to call him because we had someone that had gotten into our system at Jarvis Christian College. When I called him, he was in the bunkers in a foreign country with the president of that country because they had some security issues. And they had to go underground. But he took time to walk through what we needed to do to make Jarvis Christian College safe. So these are the kinds of persons that we're bringing to the institution for our students and for the community. So please, we'll start advertising that. So if you have an interest in any of these classes, please let us know. We would love for you to be there. And one final thing before I go to my seat, Jarvis is celebrating 110 years this year. And we're going to be celebrating all year. We think 110 years of existence is a milestone. So many small institutions have gone by the wayside, but we're still standing strong, and we're quite proud of that. So we're going to have many activities to celebrate this year, and we invite you. We're going to start advertising very soon, and we're going to celebrate from this day until June 30th. So if you want to support, be a sponsor, or come to the activities, please do so, because we want to make a statement that we are a community college. We support the community, and we want to let people know that the community support us. So thank you very much.
All right, good afternoon. Can you hear me okay? Okay, it's hard for us to hear up here. I'm going to go by my phone because I walked out of my office and didn't grab my piece of paper, so we'll see if these mature eyes can serve me well today. But I'm very grateful to be here. Thank you for the invitation. Dr. Mejia did send his regrets. He's at another commitment, as she said, but he really loves to come and talk about TJC, and I'm going to try to do him justice, but I'll share just a little bit of overview about TJC. I was talking to a gentleman, I don't know where you sat, there you are, earlier over at the drink table about how everybody I bump into knows about Tyler Junior College. I've been here a little less than 2 years. I grew up in Nacogdoches, so I knew about TJC, and I got here as quickly as my career would let me. A little bit late, but I'm happy to be here. But I was recently flying home from a vacation in Hawaii, and I was checking in with the TSA agent at the gate, and he looked at my license. My 9-year-old was next to me, and then he starts chatting about Tyler. How long have you lived there? And you know, on and on. I thought, was he profiling me? What did I do? Do I look scary? I don't know. And I said, you seem to know a lot about Tyler. What is that about? And he said, I grew up there. And he said, I said, oh, what did you do there? Did you live there long? He said, well, I went to a school called TJC. I don't know if you're familiar with that at all. I was like, a little bit. I'm the provost there. And so that was just one example. And you were talking about how many people you meet that have crossed paths with TJC. I am amazed how many lives we have impacted, and I'm honored to be part of it. But even though we're very well known, I will share just a little bit of information with you if you don't know some of these things, and I'd be happy to answer more questions later. But we are one of 50 community colleges in the state of Texas, and of course we are what we considered a large community colleges. Most colleges are a lot smaller than us. We have about 13,000 students. That was our enrollment in fall of 20. Of course, that was, as we've all talked about, the really fun year that we went through. So that was a little down for us. So we like to go back and look at fall of 19. That was our normal semester. So we were a little over 13,000, about 13,2. So we're trying to get back to that point, and we're tracking really well for that for fall. So we are serving a lot of students. Something about that growth, though, we have grown very, very quickly. We went from about 7,500 students to the 13 pretty quick. And when that happens, that does create some challenges, and I'll share some of the things that we are working on right now to address some of that. But when you grow that fast, you've got to grow up really quick, and you've got to change a lot of things. So we're working on that. We are very proud to call ourselves a legacy college. You have us beat 110 years, but we are coming up on our 100. I'm very proud of that. And we offer about 120 degrees. A lot of our students do their core work with TJC, and then they transfer on to places like Jarvis, to UT Tyler. Some of our biggest feeders are UT Tyler, Stephen F. Austin, and A&M Commerce. Those are about our top three. So, but about half of our degrees and certificates are in workforce. The other half are in academic transfer. So we're also putting students out that are getting those certificates and degrees that can go right to work, and then others transfer. We are approved, and there are not many of these colleges in the state, but we are approved to have 5 bachelor's degrees. Community colleges could not do that for decades, but we do, and at TJC we have 2. We have 1 in dental hygiene, and we have 1 in healthcare management. We are working on our 3rd, so if any of you are in the emergency services type realm, and that's where you do your work, you might be hearing from us soon. We're putting a group together to talk through what does that degree look like. We're hearing that that's a real demand for us in this area, so we'll engage you in that. I'm very proud to say that we do really well in providing dual credit. You probably know what dual credit is, but if you don't, a student can take a high school class and they can get college credit at the same time. At Lindale, specifically here, we have about 200 students who take about 400 classes a year. So Lindale is one of our larger partners for dual credit. Those students can leave us with almost completely core complete if they schedule their lives just right, so they get those hours behind them and they move on and they can get out of their 4-year degree very quickly. So we also do dual credit in workforce, so it's not just those academic core classes. Students can come out with certificates and degrees and go to work. Physically, we sit on about 145 acres if you come and visit us in Tyler proper, but we're very proud that we have 4 other locations. We have TJC West, which is a lot of our workforce programs are there, and also our continuing studies school is there. We have, of course, Lindale. We have the location here at the cannery, and it's small. How many of you have been there before? Yes, okay, if you haven't, you can just pop in and say hi to them every now and then. They'd be happy to see you. But it's small right now, but in Lindale, we are wanting to do more. We know that the growth is here. We heard that already from the ISD. This is the place to be. So we have had some conversations with your city leaders, and we are talking about what is our next step here in Lindale. Dr. Mejia would tell you if he was here. We would love to build a campus here. And when I say campus, I don't mean the 145-acre large campus we have in Tyler. I mean a comprehensive center type campus where students could get more than just what we're offering here, because our 2 big programs here are nursing and vet tech, and we would love to expand that. So hopefully that will come in the near future. We'll engage you all in that as well. I'm very proud that we have athletic teams. You gave a lot of detail on athletic. I'm not gonna do as well as you did, but we do have 12 athletic teams. We are very proud. We have over 65 national championships. In the year of COVID, we had 4 national championships, so very proud of those students. We did not do sports in the fall. The NJCAA chose not to, so we pushed that to spring. It was very crazy and very strange to have football and baseball and softball and soccer all in the spring. But in spite of all that, we brought home 4 national championships. We're very proud of that. We had national champions in men's and women's tennis. We had baseball, and we had women's soccer. So 2-time back-to-back for women's soccer. So very proud of that. I will brag on our foundation as well. At community colleges, we are funded in 3 major ways. We are funded through tuition and fees, funded through taxpayer dollars. Thank you all in Lindale. You are one of our taxing entities. And the other piece is just our state funding, which ISDs can probably attest to this. Those funds seem to get tighter and tighter every year. So in community colleges, we're going down in state funding. So we're right about 19% of our funding is from the state. So we have to make it up in other places. But another source of funding that helps our students and in some ways can help our facilities is our foundation. If any of you know Mitch Andrews, he is our VP of Advancement. I saw some smiles and nods. I can tell you, if you know Mitch, I was at a conference out of state a couple of years ago, right as I was coming here to TJC, and I said TJC, and this lady runs up to me, she said, "Do you know Mitch Andrews?" I was like, "Yeah, I do. He offices right down the hall from me." She's like, "He's amazing." So I tease Mitch that he has a fan club across the nation. But he should, because we have close to $100 million in our foundation funds. We help so many students with the Promise programs, with scholarships. We also help some of our workforce programs maintain their equipment through the foundation. We are in such a generous community. I've worked at other community colleges, but there is none like these, the communities that we serve, and you're a part of that, and we appreciate that very much. You help thousands of students a year, so thank you for what you do. I will wrap up just a couple of things I've kind of hit on, but I want to share. One thing is, we have had a lot of changes at TJC in the last 3 to 5 years, and some of those are leadership changes, right? Dr. Mejia was here for about 7 or 8 years, and then he became president, and lucky us, we all got these new jobs right as this thing COVID came around, right? So he became president in July of 19. I came in October of 19. We have had several dean positions open. We've hired a lot of new faculty, but leadership has really, really turned over at TJC. And that's always, good or bad, it's always a transition, right? It just takes time to kind of gel that team and get it moving forward. And when you throw a year of COVID in, that makes it even harder, right? But I'm very, very proud of what we've done over the last little while, especially how we navigated COVID. As you heard from Jarvis, we all had those, and the ISD, we've all had the same types of challenges. When we went away for spring break, obviously we didn't come back to what we thought we were going to come back to, but I was very proud of the team I'm a part of. We came back and we worked. I don't think any of us missed a day of work over the last year and a half because we showed up and we got things back running, because our students, I told you, we do 50% of our programs in workforce. You can't teach nursing and phlebotomy online. I'm sorry, you just can't do those kinds of things. So we did have to come back safely, as you heard from Jarvis about, you know, how do we get back? So we did come back that summer, and then our students started calling us and telling us, if this English class is online, tell me now, I'm out, I'm not coming. And so we thought, okay, well, we've got to figure out how to serve the student. They didn't want to do away. They're like your students. They wanted to come face to face. So we figured all of that out. Very proud of our faculty and staff. We did it safely. I can also tell you that in our TJC community, our rate of people getting COVID was tiny. It was very, very, very small. We had a couple of little outbreaks among an employee group, but as soon as that would happen, we would quarantine them, and we just handled it really well. So I'm very proud of how we did that. And we were able to come back, I think, quicker and get back to normal. So that was one of our major challenges. We are tracking this fall, to get back to our pre-COVID numbers. So very excited about that. Another thing I wanted to mention, some of the biggest changes coming up for TJC. We just kicked off a master plan process. So we have engaged a consulting firm, Friesen Nichols. They did all their interviews a couple of weeks ago with us. I believe you said you were a part of that as well. And if any of you in the room were a part of giving feedback, we really appreciate that. You have sent out a survey. Yes, it's in the newsletter. So please do that for us. It's a quick survey that you can provide input on TJC and what you think we are lacking, what we need. You know, we can look at our own campus and we see what we know needs to be done, but we want your perspective as a community member. So that's very important to us. So please take the time to do that. Your input does really, really matter. So we're kicking that off. We know with that, you know, we're talking about bonds and things. Afraid to bring that up, but we know that with a master plan, we're going to get an entire list of things we need to work on. We're coming up on our 100th year. We've not had a bond in a little while, but we know that that is probably in our future as well. But I can tell you we're in excellent financial shape, very similar to what your ISD describes here, hoping there would be no tax increase or anything like that. So that is what we would strive for as an institution, because we know that impacts you as a community. But we also want to provide what our students need and are asking for. The last thing I will tell you is that we really have, Dr. Mejia has led this, and we're all on board with him. We want our students at TJC to have a similar experience no matter where they go, whether they're on the West Campus, North Campus here at Lindale, at the main campus. Engaging students at the same level is very, very, very important to us. You're going to see that in our master plan, that is the theme, that we want to be sure that a student steps on any TJC campus and they have a similar experience. So I can tell you the people they interact with, I was attracted here because of the people, not just, you know, the people who were at my forum platform and in the community, but the people I work with, they truly are passionate about students and educating our community. So it's an honor to work there. It's an honor to partner with communities like yours. And I told someone not long ago, I said, who can really say you change lives for a living, right? I think in education, that is exactly what we do. We really do change lives. We hear the stories come back about the impact that we make on people. It completely changes the trajectory for some people when they get a degree or a certificate at a higher ed institution. So thank you for having me. I welcome any questions later.